All right, what's up, guys? Just cruising out here to a mint field real quick. 4th week of scouting here in a Black Mitcham variety. So just want to take you through and show you kind of what stages we're at this point in the season, and a few of the things we're looking for, and a few of the things we're addressing in this field more nutritionally and stuff. We're looking out here. These we got really beautiful growth on this field. This mint's real tall. It's actually getting heavy enough that it's starting to lay over, and so that's a good sign that we have a lot of good growth out here. And we're also kind of starting to push out some of this secondary growth in these mint fields. As you can see, these are the older leaves, and then as we go later into the season, it starts pushing out this secondary growth, and we have a lot more leaf material, which is a wonderful thing, because the leaf material is where you get most of your oils and stuff in the mint. So also, we're kind of hitting a point in the season where we're starting to go into bloom. This field's not quite there yet, but if you look deep, you'll kind of start seeing some of those heads starting to form throughout some of the field. We have a really good color out here. This field has just been doing wonderful all year. We got a good dark green color. We got good robust new growth. Something else to note, this field is smelling wonderful. It's got a very strong mint smell in it. And what usually happens later in the season, as the warmer temperatures start coming, it starts drawing a lot of those oils from the root base up into the leaves. And you want that to happen. It takes a lot of warm weather for that to start happening, and more mature plants. So we're kind of getting into that stage where it's pulling a lot of those oils up from the root system and putting them into the leaves. So we want to have a lot of that oil in the leaves before harvest. Otherwise, we're not producing a lot of oil in these fields. So this field looks wonderful. There's a little bit of leaf burn out here. What they end up doing is having to dry apply nitrogen out in these gravity fields. So you'll see just a touch of burn just from those prills landing on the leaves. But otherwise, this field looks wonderful. A few things that we're seeing, I would say particularly in your gravity watered fields, what you have is really wet soil conditions, and then we have some warmer temperatures, kind of in that 75 to 80 degree is where you'll see some of that powdery mildew coming in. So keep your eye out for that. Been cruising around the valley, chatting with mint growers. We've seen some powdery mildew spikes in some of these fields, and that can just, like I said, be a mixture of those really moist fields with some warmer temperatures. So keep an eye out on that. You might need to address it. Get out in your field. You'll see it mostly on the underside of the leaves starting to kind of sporulate there. So also keep your eye out for mites. As we get into these warmer temperatures, you'll start seeing a little bit of stress in these plants, and that can be pretty attractive for those mites to start popping in. I'll usually see them in the lower leaves. You'll see some webbing, some eggs, and stuff like that. Also aphids. Keep your eye out for aphids as well. Another thing, nutritionally, we're doing out here, we've been sap sampling in these fields, and so at this point we're trying to correct any of these micronutrient deficiencies. So we're putting that on either, like this field, we'll do it with a helicopter airplane, because you don't want to run a ground rig through here. But earlier, some of these baby fields that don't have row closure yet, we're still cruising through with a ground rig and addressing any of those deficiencies that we're seeing in the plant. So anyway, those are a few things for you to keep in mind as you go out in your fields this week. And thank you for joining me out here. And remember, make farming fun again.